Welcome back, students. In this video we'll see the page replacement algorithms known as optimal and LRU. Now we'll consider another page replacement algorithm known as optimal algorithm. In this, the victim page, the page to be replaced, is the one that will not be used for the longest period of time. Now we'll take the example, same example here. So in FIFO, we used to find the victim page by searching on the left side of the reference string. Now we have to search for the victim frame on the right side of the reference string. That is the difference here. So in this, for we consider the frame size as 3. So for 7, 0 and 1, so all the three pages are not there in the memory, so there will be 3 page faults, and we have loaded the 3 pages 701 into the frames. Now for the next incoming request page is 2. Now 2 is not the main memory is full. We have to find out one victim page which can be replaced with 2. So for finding the victim page, we are using the strategy that the page that will not be used for longest period of time. So out of 701, which is not being used for the longest period of time in future, that we have to decide. So 0 is used next, so you cannot replace. Then 1 is probably here, it may be used. Then with respect to 2, 7 is very far. So the in future, the page will not be used for longest period of time is 7. So 2 is replaced by 7 here. So for next frame, that is a 0. 0 is already there in the main memory, so there will not be page faults. So remember, students, when there is no page fault, you need not have to draw the reference the frames once again here, boxes once again here. So if we are not drawing the box, then you remember that there is no page fault. The next incoming request is 3. Now 3 is not there in the memory. You have 201. 3 pages 201. So the victim frame is one which is not being referenced among these three for longest period of time. 2 is referenced immediate, 0 is referenced immediately, 2 is referenced here, longest period is 1. So 3 is replaced with 1 here. Then for 0, 0 is already present in the memory, so there will not be any page fault. Then next incoming request is 4. So when request is 4, the memory status is 203. So we have to find out the page which is not being used for the longest period of time. So 2 is immediately used here, then we have 3, then we have 0. So longest period is 0. So the incoming 4 is replaced with 0 here. The next incoming request is 2. 2 is already there, no page fault. 3. 3 is already present here, there is no page fault. Next incoming request is 0. So when it is 0, the memory contents are 2, 4, 3. So after 0, 3 is immediately coming, 2 is also coming, 4 is not at all used in future here. So 4 is the victim page. Incoming page 0 is replaced with 4 here. Next incoming request is 3. It is already present, no page fault. 2 is already present, no page fault. For 1, among these 3, which is not going to be used in future, longest period of time, that has to be selected. So after 2, 3 to 1. For 1, 2 is immediately used, 0 is used, 3 is not at all used in future here. So the 1 is replaced with 3. So 3 is replaced with 1 here. For 2, already present, no page fault. For 0, already present in the memory, no page fault. For 1, already present in the memory, no page fault. For 7, they are not, it is not there in the memory, you have to find the victim frame. Victim frame is 2 is not at all used here, 0 is used, and 1 is referenced. So the victim frame is 2. So 2 is replaced with 7. Next page is 0 already present in the memory, 1 already present in the memory. So you come to the end of the reference string, so you stop the process. Now if you count these boxes, so boxes are drawn whenever there is a page fault. So the total number of boxes represents the page fault here. Totally there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there are 9 page faults. When the same reference string is used for FIFO, we had 15 page faults. Now here it is 9 page fault. So that's why this algorithm is called as the optimal page replacement algorithm. So the next algorithm is known as least recently used or LRU algorithm. Here we use the past knowledge rather than future. The future knowledge is used in the optimal algorithm. In this, as it is given here, past knowledge of the page is considered. That is, the victim page is the page that has not been used in most of the time. So we consider the same reference string. Now for first 3 pages there is a page fault and they are loaded into the memory. Now the next incoming request page is 2. 2 is not there in the memory. We have to replace one of the page with 2. So we are selecting the page which is not being used for the most of the time. That is older frame we have to find out with respect to 2. So with 2 nearer is 1. After that we have 0. So then we have 7. So 7 is the older page compared with 0 and 1. So we consider 7 as the victim frame and 7 is replaced with 2. So we have 201 in the memory. Next incoming request is 0. 0 is already 1 present in the memory, so there is no page fault. Next request is 3. For 3, the nearest is 0, then next nearest is 2, the far away page is 1. So 1 is replaced with 3 here. So next page is 0. 0 is already present in the memory, so there is no page fault. Next is 4. Okay, so 4 is not present in the memory, but with respect to 4 you have to find the older page among 203. So on the left hand side we have to search here. So 0 is nearer, 3 is nearer and 2 is very far. So 2 is considered to be a victim frame. Okay, because it says that the page which is not being used for most of the time. Okay, so most of the time we cannot use is compared with 4, 0, 3, 2 is not being used. So we have to replace 2 with 4. Next incoming request is 2. 2 is not present here. We have to find the older frame. 4 is nearer, 0 is nearer, 3 is far away from 2. So 3 is replaced with 2. Next incoming frame is 3. 3 is not present here. Compared with 3, 2 is nearer, then 4 is also nearer, 0 is far away. So 0 is replaced with 3. Next incoming request is 0. 0 is not present in the memory. There is a page fault with respect to 0, which is far away. 3 is nearer, 2 is nearer, 4 is far away. So victim frame is 4. So 4 is replaced with 0. So remember students, in FIFO we are searching on the left side only, but we are considering the arrival there. Here we are considering the older frame in the memory. Now next incoming request is 3. So 3 is already present, there is no page fault. Next incoming request is 2, already present, there is no page fault. For 1, 1 is not there in the memory, there is a page fault. We have to find the victim frame and with respect to 1, which is older frame among 302. So 2 is immediately referenced, then 3 is there, then older frame is 0. So 0 is replaced with 1. Next incoming request is 2. 2 is already present in the memory, there is no page fault. For 0, 0 is not there in the memory, there is a page fault and you have to find the victim frame as oldest in the memory. So 2 is referenced immediately, 1 is referenced immediately, 3 is far away compared with 0. So 3 is the victim frame, 3 is replaced with 0. 1 is already present, there is no page fault, 7. So with respect to 7, which is older among 102? 1 is nearer, 0 is nearer, then 2. 2 is older frame, so 2 is replaced with incoming page 7. For Next request 0 already present in the memory, no page fault. 1 already present in the memory, there is no page fault, and we have come to the end of the string, we stop the process. Now if you count the number of page faults here, it is 12. It is comparatively better than FIFO but worse than optimal. So generally good algorithms are frequently used, but how to implement them we'll see in the next slide. So the LRU algorithm can be implemented using two methods. One is using counter, second is using the stack. In a counter method, every page entry has a special counter which is a CPU logical counter. Every time a page is referenced to the entry, it copies the content of the clock into the counter. So when a page needs to be changed, the counter is looked for the smallest value and it is considered as the victim page. So the disadvantage is searching is necessary through the entire table. In a second method, stack implementation. So here a stack is used to keep the page numbers. Whenever a page is referenced, it is removed from the stack and put on top. In this way, the most recently used page is always at the top of the stack and the least recently used page is always at the bottom. Because entries must be removed from the middle of the stack, it is best to implement this approach by doubly linked list with head pointer and a tail pointer. So removing a page and putting it on top of the stack then requires changing the 6 pointers at the worst case. Each update is a little more expensive, but there is no search for replacement. The tail pointer points to the bottom of the stack, which is the LRU page. This approach is particularly appropriate for software and microcode implementation of LRU replacement. And LRU and OPT are the cases of stack algorithms, so they do not have a Belady's anomaly. The LRU approximation algorithms are implemented using either reference bit or second chance algorithm. So in both cases, a special hardware is used. In a reference bit, each page is associated with the reference bit, and initially the value of all the pages for this bit is 0. When the page is referenced, this bit is set to 1. So replace any page with reference bit to 0. Okay, so here we do not know the order. So whichever is having the reference bit as 0, that is selected as a victim frame in LRU approximation algorithm. The second method is second chance algorithm. Here generally a FIFO technique is used, plus a hardware is provided to store the reference bit, and a clock replacement is also used. So here the victim page is selected based on the reference bit is 0, and if the reference bit is 1, then set the reference bit to 0, leave that page in the memory, then go for the next page that can be considered as a victim phrase for replacing. So we have figure here. So here the in the second chance algorithm, the circular queue of pages is maintained, along with, as I discussed, one special hardware is added, that is the reference bit. Initially, for all the contents of the circular queue, the reference bit is 0. So whenever the page is selected for a replacement, that is a victim frame, then it is set as 1. Okay, so in a circular manner the pages are selected. Once they are selected, they are set to 1. So this is called as the second chance algorithm, because after the first one you are going for the next one, the next page to be selected. In enhanced second chance algorithm, the improvement is done to the algorithm by adding the two bits, reference bit and the modify bit. So here every page is having an ordered pair, the reference bit and modify bit. So the in case 1, if these two bits are 0, neither recently used not modified, it indicates this status. So this is the best page to select as the victim page for replacement. The second combination is 0, 1, that is reference bit is 0, modify bit is 1. So it indicates not recently used but modified. So not quite as good, must write out before the replacement. So if the page is having this statement, so you must write out before the replacement. The third combination is 1 comma 0, that is reference bit is 1, modify bit is 0. It indicates recently used page but must used but clean, probably will be used again in near future. So you can select such pages also. Then fourth combination is 1 comma 1, recently used and modified. The meaning of 1 comma 1 is recently used and modified, so probably will be used again soon and need to write out before replacement. So there is a problem with this second chance enhance algorithm. So here we might need to search the circular queue several times, because when a page replacement is called for, we are using the clock scheme but use the four classes. These are the four classes which will replace page in worst non-empty class. The next set of algorithms are based on counting algorithms. Here, every algorithm keeps a counter of the number of references that have been made to each page. Okay, so the first technique is least frequently used algorithm. Here, the victim page is selected based on the smallest count for that particular page. The second algorithm is most frequently used algorithm. Here, the victim page is based on the argument that the page with the smallest count was probably just brought in and has yet to be used. So the next topic is allocation of the frames for the processes. Each process needs minimum number of frames. For example, in IBM 370, 6 pages are used to handle the move instruction. So because the move instruction is of 6 bytes and it might span 2 pages. 2 pages to handle from and 2 pages to handle to. So totally 6 pages are required. So maximum of course is the total frames in the system, but normally it is based on how many total frames are there on the system. So to allocate the frames for the process, two methods of allocations are used. One is fixed allocation of the frames, second is priority allocation of the frames. The variation in these two may also be considered for the allocation of the frames to the processes. So in the fixed allocation of frames to the process, equal allocation of the frames is done for all the incoming processes. For example, if there are 100 frames, so these are the remaining frames after allocating the frames for the operating system. Maybe here operating system is consuming 4 frames or 5 frames, so remaining free frames are 100. So these 100 frames are used to allocate for 5 processes. So fixed allocation means each frame will get 20 frames. So here we are keeping some frame free for the buffer full, that is for the operating system we are using. The remaining is equally divided among the incoming processes. Then proportion allocation. So allocate according to the size of the process, because the degree of multiprogramming is dynamic. So based on the size of the process, the allocation of the frame is done in proportional allocation. In equal allocation, the free frames are divided among all the incoming processes. So 100 frames are free, 5 are incoming processes. So 100 divided 5 is 20. Each process will get 20 frames. Whereas in proportional allocation, based on the size of the process, the requirement of the process, the frames are allocated. So here we have one formula here, capital S equal to summation of I. So SI is nothing but size of the process Pi. So M is total number of frames available for allocation for the different processes. So number of frames allocated to particular process is represented by AI. So AI is for ith process. It is equal to SI divided by S into M, where SI is size of the process Pi, S is total number of uh, frames allocated for different processes, M is the total frames available for allocation. So for example, you have M equal to 64, S1 is 10, that is 10 frames are required for process P1. S2 is 127, that is 127 frames are required for process P2. Then Out of the 64 play frames, 2 frames are consumed by operating system. So it is coming to 62 here. M value is taken as 62 here. Then the allocation for Pi, that is allocation for process P1, is given as the required frames, that is 10, divided by total number of frames, that is 127 plus 10, 137, into the free frames. Free frames is here the value of M is 64. We are reducing to because 2 are allocated for the operating system, or you may be considered it for the free frame buffer. So after this you will get 4. So the 4 frames are allocated to S1, proportional allocation method. Then for A2, it is 127 divided by 137 into 62. That is 57 frames are allocated for S2. So when we add all these two together, it comes to 62. In the second method of allocation of frames, which is known as priority allocation, so here we are using proportional allocation scheme along with the priority of the processes rather than the size. So in proportional allocation, the size is considered, but here along with that, the priority is considered. If process Pi generates a page fault, select for replacement one of its frames, then select for replacement a frame from a process with lower priority number. So higher priority is given more. So lower priority is removed from the page and removed from the memory, and higher priority page is loaded into the frames. So here we have one more method of allocation of the frames, global and the local allocation. Global allocation is nothing but process selects a replacement of a frame from set of all frames. So one process can take a frame from another. But local replacement represent each process selects from its own set of allocated frames. So this allocation we have discussed previously. From the given set only the page replacement is done. Global means from the entire set. It may be allocated to that process or not. Any one frame is selected for replacement. Now we'll see an important concept related to page fault, that is known as a thrashing. So if the number of frames allocated to a low priority process falls below the minimum number required by the computer architecture, then we can observe thrashing. That is, if the process does not have the number of frames it needs to support pages in the active use, it will quickly page fault. At this point, it must replace some page. However, since all its pages are in active use, it must replace a page that will be needed again right away. Consequently, it quickly page faults again and again and again, replacing pages that it must bring back in immediately. This high paging activity is called as thrashing. So, a process is kept busy in bringing in and out of the pages rather than executing that process, and this is called as the thrashing. In this graph, we have a plot of CPU utilization against the degree of multiprogramming. As the degree of multiprogramming increases, CPU utilization is also increased. So once the degree of multiprogramming reaches a maximum value, the CPU utilization decreases suddenly. Okay, so at this point we observe the thrashing, that is, a process is kept busy in bringing the page in and out here. So the degree of multiprogramming decreases and CPU utilization also decreases. So to improve the CPU utilization, we have to decrease the degree of multiprogramming. That is, the number of processors allocated to the process must be reduced so that thrashing can be removed. To prevent thrashing, we must provide a process with as many frames as it needs. But how do we know how many frames it needs? There are several techniques. The working set strategy starts by looking at how many frames a process is actually using. This approach defines the locality model of process execution. The locality model states that as a process executes, it moves from locality to locality. The locality is a set of pages that are actively used together. A program is generally composed of several different localities which may overlap. Thank you, students. We have come to the end of virtual memory management system. In my next video, we'll see about the disk scheduling. Stay home, stay safe.